sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Respected Jonas, sir, with your permission, can I start the session?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Yes, ma'am. We will go ahead.
Yes, thank you, sir. Respected dignitaries and distinguished guests on the virtual platform of 7th All India Educators Meet, a very good evening. At the outset, I welcome all of you for the technical session on enhancing psychological well-being of learners. Psychological well-being is a core feature of mental health and may be defined as including hedonic and eudaimonic happiness as well as resilience. The importance of mental health has been increasingly emphasized in recent decades as public awareness and understanding grows. Mental health is now understood to involve both the absence of mental illness and the presence of psychological well-being. So on this backdrop, it is essential to provide a stimulating platform and to reflect on enhancing psychological well-being of learners. On this great occasion, we are honored to have Dr. Jonas Richard, Head, Department of Social Work, Director, Center of Life Skill Education, Kristu Jayanti College, as our resource person for this session. Mr. Jonas has 20 plus years of experience with the unique combination of expertise in the area of life skill education, employee engagement, CSR consultation, implementation of action research, and promotion of psychological well-being. A trainer by passion and academician by profession, Dr. Jonas facilitates regular training sessions in the area of life skill education. As a certified life skill coach, he trains on capacity building training and training of the trainers in the life skill. His target group includes schools, colleges, army personnel, and corporates. As an employee engagement specialist, Dr. Jonas supports corporates in employee relation strategies and retention initiatives. He assesses and evaluates the effectiveness of employee relation programs. Being a CSR consultant, Dr. Jonas Richard guides the corporates in redefining the CSR initiatives by effectively connecting corporates with the communities. He conducts need and impact assessment survey for the successful implementation of CSR program. His expertise in building linkage with the corporate and government departments for the community empowerment is highly appreciated. Dr. Jonas, with his action research expertise, helps NGOs in facilitating action researches for creating more evidence-based social work practice in the communities. As a psychological well-being practitioner, Dr. Jonas assists the individuals who are experiencing mild mental health issues and provide low-intensity intervention to enhance their overall psychosocial well-being. He provides career guidance, counseling, family counseling, and individual counseling. Sir's qualification is MSW, MSc Psychology, MPhil Psychology, and PhD in the area of life skill education. His PhD work on life skill using a quasi-experimental design with pre-post analysis is widely appreciated. Dr. Jonas also has published several research articles, authored books, and written chapters in the books. Currently, Dr. Jonas Richard is the head of the Department of Social Work and director of the Center for Life Skill Education and Center for Continuous Professional Development in Kristu Jayanti College, Bangalore. Dear sir, on behalf of Kristu Jayanti fraternity, I extend a hearty welcome to you, sir. We are more than delighted to have you amidst us, sir. Sir, I now humbly request you to take over the session.
Thank you, Professor Dhruvakumar. Most respected principals, heads of the institutions, teachers, dignitaries, administrators, it is our pleasure to have you for the 7th Educators Meet. And this session, we are going to see how mental health is more important and how very often it is ignored. Before we start, yesterday we were supposed to have Dr. Manoj Kumar's session on dealing with the cyber addiction. Due to some family emergencies, sir could not join at the last minute. However, he has shared his presentation, which will be shared by the conveners through the registered participants via their email. Let me share my presentation. Not able to see. Second. Yeah. Okay. Second, I'll share. Not able to see the presentation. Okay. Thank you. We have named this presentation as Enhancing Psychosocial Wellbeing in Our Campuses, because this is, though we talk a lot about the mental health, emotional well-being, but one of the most ignored areas, the importance that is given to physical health, including the recent pandemic, is not much given as for the mental health. It is with this background, I am very, very happy to present some of our little experience with you, dear participants. I would like to gratefully acknowledge my gratitude to my principal, Reverend Father Augustine George, and all my colleagues for having given me this opportunity to share some of our little sharing about it. Thank you at the outset, and it will be a little interactive. I would request you to keep your chat box on, so that we will make it. Mental health is all about communicating, talking. If as teachers, all of you would be able to empathize with me, how you feel when you keep on talking when no student responds. So I see a lot of principals, directors, administrators. So you don't have to put your camera on, but then keep your chat box on as we go. We will have a few discussions to discuss. Okay, so quick statistics. Please open your chat box and tell me whether you are a principal, administrator, or a teacher. Teacher. Okay, teacher. Okay. Teacher. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, administrator, principal. Okay, administrator, teacher. Okay, principal. Okay, right. Principal of secondary school. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Vice principals are there, principals are there, teachers are there, coordinators are there. Okay, right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. So that gives us a background of with whom we are talking to. Are there any parents? If there are parents, please type parents, because we also have few message for the parents. Mental health starts with the parents. Coordinator and teacher, principal. Okay, principal. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Father Francis. Okay. Thank you. Okay, right. Okay. So we don't see very many parents. However, the message that we are going to convey today, I hope it reaches the parents through the principals, through some well-being sessions that you are proposing to have in your schools. So friends, this is going to be the discussion track for the next half an hour or so. So we would talk about what is the current situation as far as the mental health and emotional well-being of the youth and children is concerned. Then we'll move on to challenges post-COVID, what has happened, especially in the classroom management. As teachers, all of you would agree with me, classroom management has drastically changed, right? Then what are the disciplinary issues that we have? Then the changing role of educators, how it is changed over the time. And how do we understand the emotional needs, and how do we understand emotional needs of the most vulnerable children? Children themselves are already vulnerable. Imagine COVID orphan, child of a single parent, child who is with a disability. They are what we call it a doubly vulnerable. So how do we take special care of those doubly vulnerable children? That we are going to discuss about it. Then I'm going to say something about managing mental health concerns of children within the classrooms and within the school campuses. And the most important, I personally feel, is the mental health of the teachers. Very often it is ignored. We talk about even the last during pandemic, we talked about doctors, we talked about nurses, we talked about police people. I don't know, somehow the much importance was not given about the teachers and their mental health, because teachers suffered a lot of mental health issues, emotional issues that we are going to discuss, and then we are going to discuss some strategies related to that. And thank you, Deepti ma'am. So I'm also going to suggest some self-care tips for teachers. Self-care is the best care. So how teachers can take care of themselves, and how do we manage relationship with the parents, and finally some suggestions on overall emotional well-being of the campus, in your campus. If you agree, if this is okay, please type yes, and if you need more, please type more. We will see. Right, let me see how many more I get, how many yes I get. So that shows that how many of you are really present for today's workshop. Some people have already asked for a feedback link. Please wait, sir, one more session is there. Right, thank you so much, thank you so much. Right, now what do you see in the picture? Anybody can either unmute and speak or put it in the chat box. What's wrong with this picture? What's wrong with this picture? Is everything right in the picture? Somebody says yes. Oh, that's a previous answer. Okay.
Am I audible, sir? Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Dipti ma'am, please say. Go ahead.
Yeah, sir, usually we see that somebody takes ladder and climbs up the stairs, but here all the ladders are all in a hustle bustle manner, and on standing on that, he's trying to peep or look on the other side of the wall or
okay,
whatever it is.
Very good. Well said, ma'am.
Sir, I want to add on.
Yes, Seema ma'am. Go ahead.
So many resources we have, but we don't know to use it.
Exactly.
Properly usage of resources.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Anybody else? One more?
One more comment, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I'm Chakrapani. Yeah. His stand is not clear, but he wants to see the outside.
Okay.
Not proper supportive.
Okay. Right. Suppose you.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me.
The solution might be.
Okay. Right.
Hello.
Thank you.
Only
Thank you.
single chair can be used.
But it is completely unstructured.
Yes, completely unstructured. Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So what happens is, suppose if you ask the gentleman, what do you want? What would be his answer? He would say, please give me some more ladders. I want to look at the other side. All of us know by collective human experience, what he needs is not more ladders. What he needs is knowing how to use one ladder. So his problem is knowing how to use the ladder, not the lack of resources. As we start the presentation, my humble request to all the participants who are present here, you're all principals, heads of the institutions, great teachers. I really value your experience. With great humility, I would like to say, most often, whatever existing resource we have, we fail to use. Instead, we ask for a more resource, whether it is the heads of the institutions or the administrators or the coordinators or the teacher at the end. So therefore, the tips that we are going to see today is knowing how to use the existing resource first, then automatically the other help will come. Now, what is the current situation as far as COVID is concerned? All of us know the last 26 months, day before yesterday, Professor Edward was saying, last 26 months, life has been a total jam, nil. Okay, and as a result of that, this COVID has brought lots and lots of side effects. First one, psychologically, people have become boredom, monotony, excessive screen time. No, people are saturated now. I'm sure you know it in your own schools. Today, the most scared word for a teacher is webinar. Most scared word for a corporate employees is online meetings, because people have reached. Thank you, Regina ma'am. So you are able to relate. So people are really saturated because of excessive screen time. Now for professionals, what has happened? Work from home, more time online, family quarrels. You know that the last 26 months in IR, industrial relations, employer-employee relations have increased, but family problems have, that has decreased, family problems have increased. Okay, I asked one corporate employee, what happened? You're at home. You can be with the wife and children. Why are you having more problem? He just told me only one thing, sir, who will discuss about malaria with the mosquito? Who will discuss about malaria with the mosquito? Which means he finding it that as a source of problem. As a result, a lot of families today, they are into crisis. Socially, what has happened? No offline gatherings, no coming together, social isolation, all that has increased. Finally, financially, unexpected financial crunch, less opportunities, many people have lost jobs and many have a pay cuts. It is with this background, children come to our institution. That is the reason I am presenting you, dear friends. When children come to our institutions after 2 years, how many of you are reopening your school day after tomorrow, Monday? How many of you are reopening school day after tomorrow, Monday? Children coming to school after 2 years. I'm sure, okay, Holy Cross School, 6th June, okay. That means the first time you are going to open after 26 months or 13 months. Okay, now this has happened. Please look at this slide very closely, dear teachers, principals. The first thing that has happened with the children the last 2 years is change in the sleeping pattern. All of us know once sleep is disturbed, your biological clock is disturbed. However, whatever number of hours of good sleep you have during the day, that is not equal to one night's proper good sleep. Okay, so the first thing, either they sleep more or they sleep less. I'm sure your own biological children, you may be witnessing it. Difficulty in sleeping or focusing. That's why they are awake till night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, morning till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, they keep sleeping. Okay. And the third one is body image issues. That means the last 2 years, children have put on a lot of weight. You would have seen children have put on a lot of weight. Their uniforms are not fitting. You will have to buy new shoes. Okay. And many of them have become conscious about their body image, right? They stop, putting the pictures in the Instagram page or the other social media page. And the many girl children are very consciously not eating so that they can reduce weight. So many children are becoming more conscious of their body image. And then they have become feeling lonely, social isolation. They are appearing to be in a group, but then they are not in a group. Okay, anxiety, stress, feeling of insecurity, fear of future, separation from interests. People who are regularly going for a coaching or they are a regular music class, they have stopped. Now we will have to create an interest in them. That is going to be a big challenge for you, dear teachers. And then emotional setback caused by the lockdown and closure of school, because they initially, the first few months, they were talking to their friends over phone. Then slowly they stopped. And then, they have found new friends in their neighborhood. Okay, so tomorrow when they open, this is going to be again a challenge, especially I'm talking about small children. And sexual, psychological, and physical abuse have shown a significant number of researchers have said, though the children are at home, that more abuse has increased, whether it is sexual abuse or a psychological abuse or a emotional abuse, because number of researchers have, said that this is on the increase. Now, we have done a small study among the youth, how youth are looking at the entire disruptive time for the last 2 years. So these are the outcome that we were able to see. Number one, because of this, children have become with low self-confidence. A simple logic. In a class of 40, when a teacher is asking question, when the child answers, everybody claps. Automatically, the child's self-esteem increases. Now, children are missing that. Children are missing that online. So you will have to work for doubly so that they are able to put up for that. Relationship issues. When I say relationship, not necessarily a boy-girl, even adolescents, relationship with the parents. People have become very, monosyllable or very one-word answer they have put. Because people have less and less communication has decreased. And social media addiction, and you know that I don't have to tell you that. You must be already looking at it. And even adults have become addicted to social media nowadays. They are spending so much time. They say during the lockdown, a child has been spending 6 to 7 hours only on social media the last 2 years. So how are we going to help them to recover? That's going to be a big challenge. Feeling lonely, not able to get along with us. Again, anxiety, fear of future, fear of rejection. What we call it, these are all what we call it emotional injuries or psychological injuries. As we have a physical injury, children also get a psychological injury. But unfortunately, we don't give attention to it. For example, you have a small wound in the leg. Okay, you immediately go put the bandage or something. But when a disturbance is there, what do we tell people? Oh, that's only in your head. Please shake it off. It will go. Will we say to the leg, oh, it is only in your leg, wound is, it will shake it off. The wound will go. We don't say that. So that means we have to pay more attention to it. That's what I'm going to tell you, do your difference. Then not able to make decisions, over emotional or no emotion at all. Both extremes we are seeing. Either they are too much emotional or what we call emotionally insulated. Nothing disturbs them. Even if there is a big thing, oh, that's all. That is the only reaction people give. And as a result, a big group of youth that are going to become unemployable if these issues are not addressed. Social media addiction, you know that. That's why somebody said today more people are addicted to Android than alcohol, because so much. Okay. Now, would you like to know if you are addicted to social media? I have 3 questions. If your answer is yes, please go for screening. First question, do you check your social media as soon as you get up in the morning? It's a self, you will have to check. As soon as you get up in the morning, do you check your social media? Do you check your social media the last thing in the night? Do you get irritated when there is no internet? If out of these 3, thank you, ma'am. Out of these 3, if you have 2, kindly go for further screening. Okay. If Dr. Manoj was there yesterday, he would have given you more insight on that. Because today, many people, thank you. Many of you are honest. Okay. Sometimes it happens. We also do that. Okay. Unless your job is that. Okay. Otherwise, if you are into social media, I think we will have to relook at where are we heading to. So broadly, today's children, okay, irrespective of the disruptive times, they go through 3 broad challenges. All the challenges they go through can be classified under 3 broad areas. Number 1, personal challenge. When I say personal challenge, the biological change. In the sense, today's children become, grow up faster because of the high level of protein food, and they're like bloated balloons. Okay, they eat a lot of protein food and then suddenly they bloat. Okay, then suddenly when you stop, they become like that. Today, many children. Okay, identity crisis. I'm not a boy, I'm not a man. Who am I? I'm not a girl, I'm not a woman. Who am I? Okay, I see that is very strong in today's children. Second one, over expectation from parents, over expectation from schools. Okay, that is why we are going to recommend to you the next 2 months. My humble suggestion to all the principals, with the great respect to your experience, next 2 months, kindly focus on healthy body and healthy mind. Do not push education too much in them. So my humble suggestion, next 2 months, focus only on healthy body and healthy mind. Many of these people have even forgotten to play. So you'll have to take them to the ground, give them more opportunity for socialization. The third one is tremendous amount of peer pressure and media influence. Media shows an ideal boy, ideal girl, ideal child. Okay, especially the youngsters. An ideal girl, a good looking girl means you have to be thin. As a result, what happened? Our daughters don't eat well. They all want to, have a, I don't know, what is that? 0 size, something like that. They want to look very, very thin. So as a result, they don't eat well. As a result, later stages, they get into all the problem. So therefore, dear teachers, we need to have more attention. Generally, a child goes through 3 major influences in life. Number 1, the family, the primary place where they give a lot of influence, the relationship with among the parents, the indifference, the comparison, the over expectation from parents, the marital satisfaction of the parents also has something to do with that bringing up children. There are some studies that I have read somewhere. Okay, over discipline or not discipline, both can be extremely dangerous. So that's how family. So we are not talking about here. The third one, we are also not going to talk about here because they are about the neighborhood. But the second one, more important, is the school. How school, the 8 hours, 10 hours, the child is with us, 6 hours, 7 hours. What is that we can create? How we can impact the child positively? How do we reduce the workload? How do we deal with the discipline instead of punishment? How do we compare the partiality? So in short, it is like a teacher reworking on the child. That is going to be there. It is going to be a big challenge. Look at this picture. This is what you are going to see from June. Children have forgotten their people. Okay, children only when they look at the teacher in the frame, oh, it's our teacher. Okay, maybe a little over dramatized, but things are going to happen. Okay, this is one. Look at this. Teachers, please look at this slide very closely. I don't know if you have reopened. Are you able to relate to this? This is a new classroom management challenges, new type of complaints that are going to come from children. Miss, he is wearing my mask. He is coughing on me. He is saying my mask is cheap, or he stole my mask. So these are the issues. Okay, I just found this picture interesting, so I thought I will put it here. So the disciplinary issues are going to be different. In fact, all in online class, okay, you would have noticed in online class, you would have noticed children who are very active in offline class, they become very silent online class. And children who were very, very silent during offline, they became very active online class. You know that in some places, children have become too much, right? And because of that, teachers not so well versed with the technology, you would have heard the cases of students putting the teacher in a waiting room. Teacher has to call, please put me inside. So children have become more, more aware of what is what. As a result, it is going to be a big challenge when you come. Look at this. In online classroom, okay, teacher is very powerful. Children are so scared and punished. Okay, look at the second picture. This boy is so relaxed, enjoying. The teacher become tensed. Okay, I'm sure all of you are able to relate to this as a science teacher or whichever subject that you were teaching it. Okay, right. There is a new trend that has come is moral orphans. Moral orphans in the sense, the last 26-30 months, parents who were taking care of children so well, the children are suffering from inattention or lack of attention. Parents who were giving so much attention those days, the last 2 years, not getting any attention. And that is the reason many children are getting into all sorts of attention seeking behavior. So that means there is nobody there to tell them what is right and wrong. Thank you, Sweta ma'am. So nobody is there to tell them right and wrong. As a result, we call them moral orphans. Today, we are getting a big number of chunk of moral orphans where parents are not, have not played their role effectively. So you have to deal with these children. Now, for the school authorities, dear principals, with the due respect to all your experience, look at this. These are the challenges that you are going to have. Number one, vaccination related issues. Whether the government is saying you go for one more dose or number of children who have to be vaccinated, are they lowering the age? This is going to be a challenge. Dealing with the learning loss. Today, we have already started talking about learning loss. The last 2 years, children have not studied. Maybe they have given some exams. Why children are waiting for class 10? Children are waiting for another corona because they know if it is COVID, they would be easily passed. So that trend should go. So learning loss has happened. There was one WhatsApp joke I read. A boy is asked, what is a Newton's third law? And this boy is replying, I'm sorry, I'm a science student. I'm not a law student. Corona batch is asking. That means children have lost touch with the basics. That is a big learning loss that has taken place. Performance gap, even for the teachers. Teachers who are very active in the last 2 months, last 2 years, that gap has come, in their performance. That has come. Concerns of the parents. Parents are worried that whether my child is going to get COVID or who is going to take care of the children. Is the school sanitized? So these are the challenges that we are going to hear from the parents. And what about the government protocols? We do not know. The governments may either go for one more lockdown or one more rule. We do not know. So that is going to be a challenging. And fees related issues. I find a lot of missionary school principals are here. I know that it is going to be a big challenge for you. Yes, thank you, Sister Princey. It is going to be a big challenge because you cannot outrightly reject like a corporate school. If you don't pay the fees, don't come. Okay, so it is going to be a big challenge. So it is with this background that you are going to enter into the new academic year. Now, there are few suggestions. Number one, it's mainly for the principals. Then I'll go to the teachers, then to the students and parents. First, to the the principals, beware of the local reality and local government guidelines. Because the number of cases increasing, what are the government local authorities guidelines? Please be aware of it. Stay in constant touch with the stakeholders. Stakeholders, when I say primary stakeholders and secondary stakeholders. Primary stakeholders are parents, teachers, and students. Secondary stakeholders are general public, your competitors, the other school, and the local media and the other authorities. So if you can do that, you will be able to sustain a continuous relationship with the people. And third one, raise awareness among stakeholders. Awareness is an important part of the heads of the institutions, because any change that does not come from the top, it is not going to be there. So my humble request to you, instead of leaving it to the least teacher, I request you to personally involve to monitor at least for the next one term, so that you are able to create a healthy campus in our schools. Now, this is called a golden triangle. I'm sure the principals are aware of it. Golden triangle refers to student, teacher, parent. Now, if these three people are constantly linked, there is definitely going to be a healthy relationship among the parents, teachers, and the student. This is the need of the hour. So can we reassure this effective golden triangle, right? So that will be better for them. Now, some suggestions for the teachers to deal with the students as far as their mental health is concerned. Listen. Okay, talk less, listen more. This is my humble suggestion to teachers. I know you also must be tired. For the last 2 years, you have not seen people physically and you want to talk more. Please kindly control. Okay, listen to the teachers more, students. Okay, don't talk more, listen, because they have something to say, especially small children. They have something to share about their experience, what happened. Offer students to the opportunity personally. If they would like to talk, they can come to you. If you can create, school can create a system. The school counselors are there, if they can be trained. In Kristu Jayanti, we train the school teachers on the providing emotional first aid. Okay, so like that, if you can think of some sessions, well-being sessions for the teachers, where they will be like a one-point contact, where the child feels safe and comfortable. You know that we have no more talking about good touch, bad touch. We are talking only about safe touch and safe touch. So can we create that safe environment in our campuses? Okay, and provide children with accurate information about COVID-19. Don't scare them. Don't create unwanted fear among the learners. That doesn't create a healthy relationship between teacher and students. Seek suggestions. Ask students. Higher classes students can suggest how do they want the classes to be. If they can draw something, let them draw. If they want to write something, let them write. If they want to write a poem about the COVID, let them do that. Please give them more and more opportunity for expression. And above all, go for routine. Have a routine. Routine is going to be your best friend, because the last 2 years they have lost routine. They are eating whenever they want. They are sleeping whenever they want. They are, I do not know what all they are doing. Once they come back, you will see. Sometimes you may not be even able to recognize children. So therefore, go for routine. Routine is going to be your mantra. So something about mental health, you know that there is a positive mental health today. Very strongly we are talking about in schools. Okay, and positive mental health is not just absence of a sickness or absence of a problem, but how do we promote positively, make people not just normal, but beyond that. Okay, as per Key's definition, we are talking about 3 components of mental health. One is emotional health, psychological well-being, social well-being. Emotional health is how do you manage your emotions. There are 4 primary emotions: fear, anger, sadness, and happiness. Did children get opportunity to express all the 4 emotions equally? We do not know. You will have to find out that. Psychological well-being refers to self-acceptance, personal growth, finding a meaning in life, okay, environmental mastery, and positive relations. And social well-being is all about your ability to connect with others, right? So if we are able to maintain all the 3 components, emotional health, psychological well-being, and social well-being, I'm sure we will have a better mental health, or better, more happy people in the campus. Now, what determines emotional health of children or positive well-being? One is the teacher's personality. Okay, teacher's personality decides their personal traits, and that creates the personal reality. I'm going to come back to that. A happy teacher creates happy classroom. Do you agree with me? A happy teacher is a productive teacher. Do you agree with me? A happy teacher is a creates more happy students. Happy teacher creates happy classroom. Yes, if you agree, then you are in the right track, because we need to create teachers who are happy. Only if teachers are happy, classrooms will be happy. My humble suggestion to all the principals here: first, seek teachers' happiness. Definitely children will become happy. Instead, if teachers are not happy, only we are trying to target only the children's happiness, or only the principal's happiness, or that, I don't think we will be able to create a safe atmosphere for the children. And types of discipline, okay, whether it is authoritarian or a permissive or a democratic, you will have to make a decision. Some suggestions: how do you promote? You can look at this slide. Please provide psychological first aid, emotional first aid. As we need a physical first aid, we also should know how to provide emotional first aid. Okay, at least you learn to know whether the child is in trouble, whether we should be able to identify. I think that basic session can be given to all our teachers. All our teachers should be able to know whether the child is in need of some help. Accordingly, we will decide whether what to give additionally. Remove stigma towards counseling. If you have a counselor in school, please don't create negative image about the counselor. I know in many schools, the teachers threaten the students, you study well, otherwise I'll send you to the counselor. You know, it's like a scary, as if counselor is somebody who is a, thank you SFS school. Okay, because we have to remove the stigma. Counselor is somebody who is there to help. And counselors also should be like a real kind and welcoming, such type of people only can welcome students so that they feel comfortable. I'm sure when the school reopens, a lot of people will want to meet the counselor if you position it in a very right way. If you can include happiness curriculum, life skill education, train the teachers on positive mental health. This is my humble suggestion to all the principals sitting here. Conduct session on stress management, work-life balance. Okay, let's remind the teachers, children are not springboard for our emotions. Children are not there to express my emotions. I have a problem with my mother-in-law, father-in-law, I don't come here to express my emotions here. I have a problem with my spouse. I should not come and use children, because children are vulnerable, highly vulnerable. They cannot even express, especially in the current situation. And above all, treat all students equally, right? And some suggestions, some more. Balance between protection versus preparation. Balance between protection versus preparation. We are there to protect the child. We are there to prepare the child, but you also should prepare. So balance that. Balance between light and tight approach. We can be light with the children, but when things go wrong, go for a tight. That balancing, we should constantly keep doing it. And differentiate between discipline and punishment. Okay, so running short of time, so I will be very brief. Punishment is past oriented, discipline is future oriented. Punishment talks about an action, discipline talks about a relationship. Punishment, condemns a person, discipline helps a person to grow. Discipline is hope. So we should move from punishment area to a discipline. Thank you, Father Francis. So respect before you expect. General complaint that today's children don't respect, but before we expect, can we respect them? Connect before you correct. Before you correct the child, please connect. Use often the names. That is the sweetest sound anybody wants to hear in their world is their own names. Use children's name as often possible. Encourage, not just praise. Don't simply falsely praise. Okay, identify the belief behind behavior. Look at this slide. Okay, so every behavior a child shows has got a belief behind it. When a child is misbehaving, when a child is not doing well, don't just treat the symptom. Sickness is something else. Behavior is only a symptom. Sickness is the belief. Identify the belief, whether it is a positive belief or negative belief, why the child has got into that belief. If you are able to erase the belief, if you are able to change the belief with a positive affirmation, I am sure children will be exhibiting. Now, today, many children are always online. There is a 5 golden rule that we need to practice or to tell our children. First one, it is okay to block someone if you are not comfortable communicating with. We have to tell our children. Okay, don't continue when things are going out of track. Do not accept friends from strangers, whether, I don't know, whichever social media they use. Then if an email looks suspicious, please delete it or mark it, because these are very simple, but often we ignore it. Passwords are not social. Password is like somebody said, password is like your toothbrush. Number 1, you don't share it with others. Number 2, you change it regularly. You need to do that. Third one, remember to log out while using a public computer. So it is better that not to do that. So 3 exercises, there are so many are there. I am suggesting 3 exercises for your children. Number 1, ask them to write a letter to the friend. Ask them to write a letter to the friend. Please, okay, how was your COVID? How was the last 2 years? Let them, because that is a way of, yes, could we have recordings of the session? Definitely we will share, but first we have to listen to this session now. Then we will give. Okay, first, ask them to write a letter. Ask them write a letter. Draw a picture if they can. Thank you. Okay, draw a picture, because after tsunami, the Nimans has come out with the beautiful model. Children were asked to draw a picture. Many of them were drawing how they were scared and running away from the water, right? So can we ask them to draw a picture? Then can we ask them to say a story? Okay, can you tell a story? What happened? Because stories inspire students' imagination. You will come to know what all they talk about it. So these acts. This is what I said, dear friends. Routine, 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 routine. If you want to take one word from the entire session, kindly take from your routine. Routinize whatever you do, because that is the only thing they have missed last. Please pay close attention to children who are doubly vulnerable. Doubly vulnerable. Children are already vulnerable, doubly vulnerable. Children of single parents. When I say single parent, it does not mean one father should have died. No. When you have a child who has an alcoholic father, the mother is a single parent. When a father is not responsible for the family, mother is a single parent. Father is not taking care of the children, the mother is a single parent. Okay, so we have to understand from that perspective. Differently abled children, they have suffered more, double discrimination, they have suffered. Okay, children who have lost parents, what we call it a COVID orphans or single child. See, during lockdown, single child, they suffered more. At least other families, when you had 2 children, people were fighting. Some interaction was going on, communicating. Single child, what happens? So they could not communicate. Thank you, Sujata ma'am. So as a result, they really suffered. So when they come back, dear teachers, it is our responsibility to restore their emotional backup. Right now, how do we deal with the parents? Some suggestions, because parents are important stakeholders. In Kristu Jayanti, parents are actively involved in all our programs. And that's one of the reasons I can very boldly say why we are successful. Parents are actively involved. Please involve parents. Don't call the parents only when a child is doing something wrong. Whenever there is a general feeling, whenever you have a call from the school, immediately you ask your son, did you do something, anything? Why the school is calling? I think that should change. That should change. Parents should be actively involved, understand the socio-economic challenge, because many people lost a job, many people had a pay cut. Okay, they could not survive and they would have lost relatives, loved ones. So please look at them from their perspective. I know fees will be an issue, but then how do we deal with them? Plan for session for parents, because we go to schools to talk to the parents. Like that, you can plan for some session for the parents alone. Provide a psychological first aid for the parents, because many parents are totally shattered the last 2 years because nobody talks to them about all these concepts. Involve them actively in school. And please remember, 80% of the disciplinary issues are because of poor parenting style, because parents have a problem with each other. So when a child is problematic, when a child is troublesome, don't look at the child alone. Please look beyond the child. Look at if the family can do that. Now, I will move on to the teachers. As I said, teachers are the most ignored group. You see, even in the presentations, I'm talking about teachers at the last only. This should change. Okay, teachers' mental health should be given more importance. Now, when I look at the teachers, it's like a juggler. You know, a juggler, first one ball he enjoys, second balls he enjoys more. After third, fourth ball, he is worried whether he will drop anything. That is exactly has happened to the teachers. First, they enjoyed taking one class, then more responsibilities and more responsibility, online, offline classes, then dealing with the parents. So as a result, I do not know what is the condition of the teachers today. Okay, I think some teachers should tell us how they are feeling it. So they have a virtual fatigue and burnout. Many teachers have gone into burnout syndromes. Okay, they are tired. They are totally tired because you know that you correct the student's English, student's mother corrects your English. Student's mother calls you. If you don't pick the call, immediately call goes to your principal. So you do not know. There was one teacher who told, sir, by the time we go to my personal space night 11 o'clock, that time one parent is calling and asking the doubt which I shared in the group many times. What should I do? If I am little rude, next morning call will go to the principal. So dear, if you are a parent, please understand the teacher's pain. If you are a principal, kindly empathize with your teachers. You know, teachers are going through real problem, whether it is a pre-KG or a PhD guide. All have gone through the same problem the last 2 years. Please understand. Because of that, they are not able to perform well, concentration, memory issues, inability to make decisions, muscle tension, getting sick more often, frequent headaches, stomach upsets, loss of empathy. Today, they are so tired. As a result, they are not able to be a good mother, good wife, or a good mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, whatever it is. Okay. So my humble suggestion to the principals and administrators sitting here, please understand there is a strong link between teachers' motivations and students' motivation. If a teacher is motivated in a school, he or she will create a motivated students. So if I want to motivate students, please motivate the teachers. Okay, you just have a message like this, right? Like what our principal says, my job is to take care of you. you will take care of the job. So if we can create that culture, my job is to take care of the teacher. Let the teacher take care of the job. Why we are worried about the job? They will take care. A successful teacher, a happy teacher is a productive teacher. He is an asset to the institution. My humble suggestion, can we create that community of teachers who are asset to us? Okay, a motivated teacher is a happy teacher. Can we create a motivated teachers? Appreciate their contribution during online class. Last 2 years, they have protected the walls of your school. They have been fortress. They have been creating a link between the school and the teacher. What do you call the parents? Please appreciate their efforts. As soon as they come, don't bounce them on with something else. Arrange for well-being sessions. Please take care of their teachers' mental health. So, dear teachers, I have some suggestion for you. I'm not going to read out everything because lack of time. So, few things I will say. Please take care of your sleep. This is mainly for the teachers. Take care of your food. Go for a routine life. Talk to your colleagues about it. Okay. After the class is over, sit for 10-15 minutes. Relax. Okay, create a routine as far as possible at home as well as in the school. Okay, at the end of the day, if you can maintain what do we call a gratitude journal. Gratitude journal. Every day, write at least 5 things that was positive that day. Okay, and 5 lessons you learned to them. Regular break you take. So if you are able to do that, thank you, Rajini ma'am. So when you do that, I am sure you would be able to become a great teachers. Okay. Please understand, self-care is a necessity, not luxury. Okay, rest is the most important work that you should do first. Rest is the most important work. Okay, often it is ignored. And if you are, in Indian context, at least I can say, if you are a lady teacher, you will have to take care of the school thing, and at home you have to take care of your children, biological children. If you are in a joint family, you will have to manage them, neighbors. With all that, finally, when you go to bed at night, 10, 11, you are no energy. No. Energy. So therefore, please take care. If you are a mother, if you are happy, everybody will be happy at home. You know that. I don't have to tell you. If a mother is upset, the whole family is upset. You know that. So at least for them, you need to take care of yourself because your happiness is most important. So let's create teachers who are unique but not strange. Let's create teachers who are unique but not strange. I'm skipping this. Okay. So finally, please understand, students don't care how much we know till they know how much we care. I repeat, students don't care how much we know till they know how much we care. They are not worried about our qualification and experience. All that they want is, can you take care of me? Can you be with me? Please, teachers, remember, if we do not take care of the mental health issues now, we may soon have an outbreak of a second pandemic, that is mental health crisis. Like a pandemic now, COVID, we may have a mental health crisis that many scientists have predicted, because Italy was the first country which go for a lockdown and COVID. They're already witnessing their now mental health crisis. So can we create a safer environment now itself so that we are able to create better? So please let us not prepare the way for the child, but prepare the child for the way, because it is going to be the order. If not Corona, something else is going to come. One or other things are going to come. So instead of just protecting children, shall we prepare them so that they are able to have that? So teachers create a lifelong impact. 20 years later, what children will remember is not what you taught, but how you taught. I repeat, 20 years later, what children will remember is not what you taught, but how you taught. Finally, I would like to end with the quote by two greatest educationalists, one from India, one from Italy. Okay, one is Saint Kuriakos Elias, one is Saint Don Bosco. Both have given a same message. That is, children are gift of God. If you love a children, please express. Love is always shown in action. Please understand. Love and gratitude, these two are always shown in action. Don't believe words. Don't believe words. It is always shown in action. So if you are a 21st century educator, if you want to be a teacher beyond Google, if you want to be a teacher, often people say, technology has come, teachers are, no, Google cannot motivate. Teachers can motivate. Google cannot inspire. Teacher can inspire. Google cannot say, it's okay, don't worry, get up again, which a teacher can say. So therefore, our role is there, but our role is a changed one. So can we have teachers in our campuses, teachers with the before COVID, PC and AC after Corona? Okay, so can we have better teachers so that we are able to create mentally healthy, happy people in our classrooms. So these are all few thoughts that we wanted to share. I'm sharing. These are all the collective message of all my colleagues and experiences. Okay, so I am really happy that, would like to be grateful once again to all my colleagues who have contributed to this message. And thank you so much. If you really need, if you feel that you would like to transform your campus, if you need additional help, please feel free to get back to us. All that you have to do is write to principal@kristujayanti.com. Someone from Kristu Jayanti will reach out to you. Okay, so how you felt, my mobile number and email ID is there. I would be happy to receive your feedback, how you felt about the program. Thank you so much. And thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much, sir, for an excellent and energetic session. Thank you so much, sir. And now the session is open for queries. Participants, you can unmute yourself or post your queries on the chat box.
Sir, it was an excellent presentation and we really liked it. It was very expressive how you told about the teachers and the students. It is not only child-centered but teacher-centered. If we make the teachers happy, and the teacher will automatically make the children happy. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. This is Principal from Silver Bells Public School, Bhavanagar, Gujarat. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. In Gujarat, sir, our schools already started some few months back.
Okay.
And the students even forgotten to even wish the teachers. And we have to tell them, yes, good morning, good evening. It's means we have to teach them from the very basic now. So even though they are studying in 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, so we have to tell them this is this, and where is your classroom, this is the ground to play. So very small things we have to start. So sometimes it looks like we are starting from the very olden age once again. So this is we are facing now, and you nicely explained it, and a very inspiring and very useful session, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, dear participants. As we move to the close, let me take this opportunity to propose the oath of thanks. I take immense pleasure in thanking our resource person, Dr. Jonas Richard, Head, Department of Social Work, Director, Center for Life Skill Education, Kristu Jayanti College, for sharing insights on the topic enhancing psychological well-being of learners and making the session very interactive and very interesting. And I'm sure that all our participants had an enriching and enlightening session. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
An heartfelt thanks to all the distinguished guests who are present with us virtually. Thank you, dear participants. Once again, I thank one and all, and I now hand over the session to Dr. Sonia.